quiet village on the edge of a vast forest, there was a story that had been passed down 4 generations. It was said that beyond the forest, hidden from the world, lay a garden of unparalleled beauty. This garden was a place of peace, a sanctuary where time slowed, and the burdens of the world melted away. Few had seen it, but those who had spoke of its calming presence and how it was guided by a gentle spirit, Jesus, the Prince of Peace. One evening, a traveler named Leela set out on a journey to find this hidden garden. She had heard stories about it since she was a child, and now, more than ever, longed for the deep peace that it promised. As the golden sun began to set, Leela walked toward the forest with nothing but her heart full of hope and faith. The air was warm, and the soft chirping of crickets filled the air, creating a gentle lullaby. The garden path, Leela entered the forest, her footsteps soft on the mossy ground. The trees above her formed a natural archway, their leaves rustling like whispers in the wind. As she walked deeper into the woods, the world around her became quieter, the noise of the village fading into the distance. The forest was alive, yet peaceful. Birds fluttered gently between branches, and the soft murmur of a distant stream could be heard. Suddenly, Leela noticed a faint glow ahead of her. She followed the light, her heart lifting with each step. Soon, she found herself standing before a stone archway covered in vines and blooming flowers. Beyond the archway, she could see a lush garden stretching out before her. The air was filled with the scent of jasmine and lavender, and the soft glow that illuminated the garden came from the presence of Jesus, walking peacefully among the trees and flowers. The gentle presence of Jesus. As Leela stepped through the archway, she felt an overwhelming sense of calm wash over her. Jesus, dressed in a simple white robe, looked at her with a gentle smile. His eyes radiated kindness, and Leela felt as though all her worries had been lifted. Jesus gestured for her to walk with him, and together they began to explore the garden. The garden was unlike anything Leela had ever seen. Streams of clear, sparkling water flowed gently through the lush grass, creating soothing music as they passed. Butterflies fluttered lazily in the warm breeze, and the flowers, roses, lilac, and wildflowers of every color seemed to glow softly in the fading light. Birds sang sweetly from the treetops, and the entire garden was alive with peaceful harmony. The healing waterfall. After a while, Jesus led Leela to a quiet corner of the garden where a small waterfall cascaded over smooth rocks into a crystal clear pool. The sound of the water was gentle and calming, like a soft whisper in the still air. Jesus knelt by the edge of the pool and gestured for Leela to do the same. As she knelt beside him, he gently dipped his hand into the water, and the ripples spread across the surface, shimmering in the soft light. Leela cupped her hands and lifted the cool water to her face, feeling its refreshing touch. As the water flowed through her fingers, she felt a deep sense of healing. All the stress, anxiety, and worries she had carried with her seemed to dissolve into the water, leaving her heart light and free. Jesus smiled at her, and Leela knew she was in a place of true peace. The peaceful meadow. After resting by the waterfall, Jesus led Leela to a large meadow in the heart of the garden. The meadow was filled with soft grass that felt like a blanket beneath her feet. In the center of the meadow stood a tall, ancient tree with wide branches that stretched out like arms, offering shade and shelter. Leela and Jesus sat beneath the tree, the cool breeze gently swaying the branches above them. As they sat in silence, Leela felt her eyes grow heavy. The peace of the garden and the quiet presence of Jesus had lulled her into a deep sense of calm. The world around her seemed to fade, and all she could hear was the soft rustling of the leaves and the distant murmur of the waterfall. Leela lay down on the grass, feeling the warmth of the earth beneath her. Jesus sat beside her, watching over her as she drifted into peaceful sleep. Conclusion: rest in peace. As Leela slept, the garden continued to hum with quiet life. The flowers swayed gently in the breeze, the streams whispered softly, and the birds sang their lullabies. Jesus remained by her side, his presence a source of unwavering comfort and peace. Leela knew, even in her dreams, that this garden was not just a place, but a reflection of the peace that Jesus offers to all who seek him.